Hey everybody, welcome back, and I'm back again today with a figure that I've actually had a couple days but have not opened it yet, and I know that there's already some reviews out there for it that are pretty in-depth, but I did receive the Fantastic Model FM-02 Margh. Got this Monday, and have been really excited for this figure probably for, I don't know, a year and a half or so. When I was a kid, Ultra Magnus, or at least the toy, was one of my favorite toys because it kind of introduced this concept of a robot being inside of armor, which I thought was really cool. Even though really in the show and in the movie, he never really was two different pieces that went together. He was just this one big guy. But for those that don't know, the original toy was based on a Diaclone toy from Japan that was called the Powered Convoy, that had, this two different split mode, and there were several different transformation options for the trailer. It was a really cool toy, and it was a really cool toy to have in the Transformers line. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into this guy. I did get this from Agabus, got it super fast, so I was really happy about that. So right off the bat, looking at this guy, the artwork on the box obviously is very cool. So we've got Ultra Magnus here on the box. It's a pretty big box. It's very hefty. And on the sides just have kind of the typical Fanstoys boxing, using that Fantastic Model name. So one thing, and maybe I'm a little bit ignorant here, I'm usually pretty good at being able to figure out the connection between the name that these third-party companies use and the actual character that it's supposed to be. For this one, for the life of me, I don't understand the name Margh. I don't know if it was a character that maybe Robert Stack, who voiced Ultra Magnus, originally played in another movie of his. Not really sure. X-Transbots was obviously Commander Stack, which was a play on Robert Stack, who was the actor, or the voice actor, for Ultra Magnus in the movie. But this one, I really don't know. So if anybody does, stick that down in the comments. And he comes with the obligatory instruction sheet and the collector card. Again, very much in the same style of Fanstoys. We obviously know that it's the same company, just operating under a different name, presumably to protect themselves from any kind of IP lawsuits. Ah, dang it. Usually I'm pretty good at guessing which end to open these from. All right, so now that we've got him open, he comes with quite a few little accessories. So the first one is a little sprue that has several different face options, and that you'll have to cut these off and use these. Very similarly with the eye options. So very pretty metallic blue that we can see, and there's multiple options here for them. And then we've got the replacement chest pieces that can go in if you want to get rid of this translucent look, which I will probably do right off the bat. And we have his blaster, which is a really cool blaster. Very similar in size to the X-Transbots version of the blaster. Very cool there. And then we've got his missile launchers. And if you can see, it's got this vac metallized paint and almost a pearlescent paint on it. Now, the one thing that I don't like about this is that these are keyed, so you can't really adjust the tilt, the angle up and down on his shoulders. They're going to be fixed perpendicular to his upper arm. So if you've got his arms kind of moved up or down, they're going to point in that direction as well. I'm not really sure why they did it like that, but it would have been nice to have those adjustable. And then obviously we have two of these. And then lastly, we have the other head option, which, as we know, gives us kind of the half and half look. It's a callback to the IDW comics. I actually never read those. I was out of Transformers by the time those came around, before I got back into collecting, but that's a really cool looking face. Again, a pearlescent paint. Very well done, I think. Very well done. And then we also have a blue Energon axe that goes with the Ultra Magnus cab robot mode. Very pretty, very well done. And it just pegs into his arm. We can see that peg right there. And now we go to the main attraction, which is Ultra Magnus himself. And this guy is super heavy. I'm feeling him in comparison to the X-Transbots, and I guess they are about the same weight or so, but to me he's much heavier than the Takara version of this figure. Obviously you can tell how much quality there is in the build. Obviously not as chunky. I call this the post-Ozempic Ultra Magnus. He's a much more slimmed down version, even more so than the X-Transbots version. Very much slimmed down from that. And I know that there's a couple of things that we have to do here to set this up, just based on some of the other reviews that I've watched. I know this comes out, and I wish I had a spudger on me to be able to get these out, but I don't have one, and I don't want to mess up the paint on this guy. Let's see if we can separate this out. And maybe get a better hold of it. This really is tabbed in super tight. And I've almost got it. And we'll see if we can find a little tool here that won't mar the paint and get in here. No, that's not gonna work. Let's see if we can slide this piece out. I tell you what, guys, this is super tight. And I've almost got it. Tell you what, I'm gonna go off camera here and get this off, and let's come right back. All right, so we've got him finally disassembled. But when we do that, these legs come down and peg into this piece, and then this folds under and back, and then this clips down, and that gives him just a little bit of height. He's not quite as slouched as he was in that configuration that they have for packaging. So looking at this figure is just really beautiful. It's, I don't know if you can tell, it's a metallic sheen to the paint here. Again, a much slimmer version of the X-Transbot, or much slimmer than the X-Transbot's version. And just really overall a really beautiful figure. Looking at him, let's bring in the X-Transbots here and put this off to the side. So obviously looking at him, you can see the difference here, you know, a little bit narrower in the upper torso area. So roughly same height, very similar, just not quite as bulky. And then looking at articulation of the combined mode, head goes up and down a little bit, turns all the way around, shoulders go out. Now one thing, and I know this is just unavoidable with these figures, but the arms only go out that far, and then if you want to get them out any further, you bring this part at the upper bicep. I don't love that because it kind of breaks the sculpt, and to me looks weird. X-Transbot's version is the same way. I know on my Takara version, I actually have the KFC shoulder upgrades, which actually lets you swing these out and really get a nice range of motion in the shoulders. Waist swivel. Do we have a waist swivel? I think we do. I'm pretty sure we have a waist swivel. I know I've seen it in some of the online videos. I know that you kind of have to unclip everything here. So yeah, you have to bring his waist up a little bit, and you do get a ratcheted waist swivel. Obviously an ab crunch. Let's put all that back down. We do get some hip skirts. And if you look at those, it kind of reveals the inner bot mode, but you get a nice up with the leg, and you get back pretty far. Out. That's not on a ratcheted joint. It's just a friction joint, but it is pretty stable. The knee, and we get nice articulation in the knee. Get an ankle tilt, thigh swivel, and then going back up to the arms, I kind of missed this, but looks like they go all the way around. Get a nice, better than 90 degrees at the elbow, and then obviously we've got individually articulated fingers that can be splayed out a little bit. So overall, really nice articulation on this figure. Let's see if we can figure out how to get this back into the proper configuration. Yeah, so that just clips back down. So yeah, overall, just a really nice, well executed figure, I think. I'm having a really difficult time of how I'm going to display these. As mentioned, I've got the Takara version as well as X-Transbots. X-Transbots has obviously been my favorite up to this point. A nightmare to transform. I've always kept them in bot mode. The Takara version is, to me, one of the easiest masterpiece transformations there is. So that's going to go into alt mode. And I think maybe what I'll end up doing is perhaps displaying, I really don't know. I mean, this is such an awesome figure. I want to have him in combined mode, but I really like the idea of that inner bot mode as well. So yeah, I've got some decisions to make there. But looking at this figure overall, I'm super happy with it. Again, they've knocked it out of the park, I think. Just an all-around really awesome figure. And I'll do some comparison photos here with, well, actually, I'll tell you what, let's bring in MP44 so we can see a little bit of a comparison here. So he's a good 1.5 inches, close to 2 inches taller. Looks to be in the right scale. Looks really good next to MP44. And then let's just bring in X-Transbots one more time to see kind of the comparison between these two guys. So right at the same height. The antenna on the head, I've noticed, are a little bit longer than what I'm accustomed to, but I'd have to go back and look at the animation models and see if that's right. This guy is supposed to be more tune accurate, so I'll have to take a look at that and see, you know, how much that deviates from the animation model. But there we have it. Let's throw his shoulder missiles on. Oh, one other cool thing is the missiles do come out of the launchers, and they do have detail on the tube end of them. And this is what I mentioned before. So if we look at his shoulder here, that is keyed where these launchers go in. For the life of me, I can't figure out why they did it like that, but it is what it is, right? But yeah, I mean, he just looks awesome with this. Overall, really good figure, highly recommended. And let's do some side-by-side comparison shots, and I'll post those in a short. So thank you guys for taking a look, and if you like and subscribe, and I'll keep doing these. Thanks for watching.